Welcome to the Personal Pension Radio Podcast, where it's all about helping you complete your financial journey to retirement. Discover time-tested strategies and get unconventional insights into wealth building and retirement that actually work. Break away from the herd and go for the retirement you dream of. And now, here's your host, the income engineer, Kraig Strom.
All right, back on Personal Pension Radio. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all the feedback and all of the support, the emails. Keep them coming. Truly, truly appreciate it. If you haven't been to iTunes to leave me a review on iTunes and you feel so inclined, please take a few minutes and jump over to iTunes. You can do it right through your phone. You can do it on your computer. It's pretty easy to do. The more reviews, the better. Keep them coming. If you have any questions, please send those in to Kraig, K-R-A-I-G, at kraigstrom.com. And I am always excited to get those. Now, this show, Personal Pension Radio, really does have a retirement and a retirement income focus. But here's the thing. Retirement income planning is a pre-retirement and post-retirement planning conversation. So when we talk about maximum income in retirement, it's all about the entire journey, the accumulation phase, the distribution phase, connecting all of your products and financial decisions and strategies together. And most financial advisors that are out there have been educated by the same Wall Street machine that taught me 20 years ago the messaging that worked best for, you guessed it, Wall Street. So that means that CPAs and attorneys and bankers, insurance professionals, financial advisors, financial planners, they've all been taught by this Wall Street machine, and the message has been what it works best for Wall Street. It's specifically tailored that way. It's just the way it is. And a long time ago, I started stepping out of line with all of my Wall Street, classical Main Street thinking and started asking questions. Like, it just didn't seem like it was a complete picture to maximum retirement income, and it wasn't. It wasn't the complete picture. And that's what I want you to be thinking about as you're considering your own financial decisions, your own retirement income journey. Whatever retirement means to you, it means something different now for many people. And I am all about fighting that conventional wisdom that says the secret to a great retirement is invest more money. Well, no, it's not. It's invest more money, yes. Save more money, yes. But it could also be life insurance. It could be real estate. Could be business assets. Could be annuities. It could be all the various investments that go with it. It's actually all of those things integrated correctly, right? This show is meant to give you hope for retirement, to really turn that light on at the end of the tunnel and say, if you just stop following conventional wisdom, you might actually be able to get there to whatever your retirement is. A quick story this week. So a couple talked to their now this is a couple that I recently met with. They talked to their big investment firm advisor about retirement. They actually, I think, waited too long. It is what it is. They want to get out in about 5 years. They want to retire in 5 years. And so they went and talked to their investment firm advisor, big name firm, and their current advisor is the epitome of good old Wall Street retirement advice, and quoted a variation of the 4% rule. Now, this is the rule that says if you got $1 million, you really probably shouldn't have $1 million in investment accounts. You probably shouldn't take out more than 4% to start your retirement. What? I've got $1 million in my investment portfolio, and you're telling me I should only take out $40,000 a year? I can't live on that. That's what many people are hearing and thinking nowadays, right? So they talked to their big name Wall Street firm advisor, and that's exactly what this person did. It was a variation of the 4% rule, okay? And the 4% rule, the income number was based solely on investments, and it was not great. The couple was kind of disappointed and thinking, that's not great. So they actually went back to their attorney who they were going to work with to map out the legal structures necessary to sell their business. And they said, we're kind of thinking that we're not going to sell because we got our retirement income numbers and we can't really live on that the way we can't keep our lifestyle going the way we hoped. So I guess we'll just keep working. Well, rather than look at the investment only guy and that was it, their attorney suggested, hey, you should go meet Kraig. Kraig is the income engineer. He specializes in retirement income planning. If anybody could help give you a different perspective, Kraig's your guy. Thank you so much. These folks came to visit with me. Rather than look at an investment-only conversation, I suggested that we consider their investments. We should consider annuities, reverse mortgages. We should consider life insurance. We should consider all of it and their real estate in a comprehensive income plan. Every asset working at its best and its most efficient to provide maximum income without disinheriting their kids, right? So we actually started looking at that, and just by preliminaries, just barely met with these folks just this week. My preliminaries, they will be on track for 70% more income than the investment-only option. 70% more income than the investment-only option that they had heard from their classically trained Wall Street investment firm. That is something to look forward to. Do you think now that they know they can actually maintain their lifestyle, do you think they might now go back to their business attorney and say, we're in, let's sell, let's do this, right? That's what I'm talking about, folks. The retirement income conversation is not about investments. It has to be a strategy, a strategery that puts it all together. That's what I do. I love it. I specialize in it. I engineer it. That's why I am the income engineer. Now, quick disclosure. I am not an attorney. I am not a CPA. I am a certified financial planner professional. All that said, and as qualified as I might sound on this fancy little microphone of mine, please don't act on things that you hear on my show as if you're hearing advice for you personally. You've got to meet with a qualified financial planner. Please don't take advice and act on things from financial entertainers like Dave Ramsey or Susie Orman or anyone else out there that's acting under the First Amendment instead of a fiduciary approach like a financial planner would, who's qualified, licensed, regulated, educated. Meet with a qualified financial planner, please, before you take action. Now, I want to make sure I've got a deal of the week, right? This is my quest for lifestyle deflation. Lifestyle deflation. So frustrated, I actually had an interaction with somebody that I know, and he actually is a friend that I've talked to for a long time, and a friend I've known for a long time, and I was talking to him recently, and unfortunately, he is about to lose his apartment. He's got a 60-day notice that his landlord is actually going to be moving back into the apartment that he currently has been renting. His landlord gave him a 60-day notice. Now, as long as my friend has known me, he knows I'm a guy that's very thrifty. I'm always looking for a deal, and I'm always out, just chasing those kind of things down. Well, my friend is the exact opposite. He is, I guess, the poster child for the conversation that I'm going to have today in this podcast. But let's just say this. This is what caused me to hunt down my own deal of the week. So he found out he had a 60-day notice, and he called me saying, hey, do you know anybody? Do you know anything? And because what he's finding now with the real estate market the way it is, that the rental market's very tough. It's tough. There's not a lot available, and the rents have gone up a lot. And my advice was, you're going to have to cut back, right? You're going to have to cut back on, you're going to have to cut costs and find ways to save a buck. And that just was that was like the most foreign concept for him. Like, what? Cut back? See, here's the thing. Life has been going just great and everything's good. And what's happened is he's had lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation. So here's my friend who, is single and he's working a job. He's not that many years into his chosen profession, but he's making okay money. But what he's done is that he's added expenses to his life that basically eat up most of his ability to save. And one in particular thing that really got me is that he's got one of those brand new iPhones, whatever that iPhone X or iPhone 10 or whatever the heck it is, brand new, the most memory you can get. He is paying a blinking fortune for this little handheld iPhone. Like, these things are $1,000, and he's paying his monthly lease payment and this ridiculous price for his iPhone plan. And I said, well, geez, if only you could cut down on things like your cell phone bill. Well, I can. I'm locked into this contract, and it's a brand new phone. And that actually led me to my deal of the week. I had realized I hadn't done it, and I went out and did it. And I called my cell phone company, and I was able to cut my bill in about 10 minutes. I was able to negotiate with them using another cell phone company as leverage. I negotiated my bill, and I think they cut my bill about $40 a month, about $40 a month on my cell phone bill, and I didn't have to change my plan. And I still have the same old phone that I've had for years, for a number of years now. My wife has an old phone that's paid off. It works fine. My phone works fine. And there's no reason to change phones at this point. I just don't see a point. The bottom line is, talking to my friend, with his situation, reminded me, hey, go find out if I can cut my own cell phone costs. So yes, say my deal of the week was $40 a month off my bill. I called my company. I used another cell phone company with their introductory offer as my leverage. Said, hey, look, I don't want to move to this other company, but they're offering me a better deal, right? If you can't make a better deal, I'm just going to cancel and go over there. I keep my number, I keep my phone, and sure enough, 10 minutes, it wasn't that hard. They actually updated my bill, all right? So there you go, deal of the week, cell phone, dollars saved. Now, the first segment in my show is Watch Your Step. The last episode, I mentioned this idea of hearing a financial group advertising their latest seminar where they talked about 30-year mortgages in retirement. Please go back and listen to that episode. If you're thinking about what you're going to do with your mortgage, should you have a mortgage? Should you pay off your house? What should you do? Oh my gosh, please go back and listen to the last episode, that segment about 30-year mortgage or mortgages in general in retirement. Now, this week, I want to talk to you about apathy. I want to talk to you about beware of the apathy of success. Beware apathy of success. This is actually coined by a friend of mine, Steve Weimer, and when we don't have a lot of money, every dime counts, right? When we are starting out in life and we're pinching pennies, every single cost is carefully evaluated, right? Or even we'll even put off small purchases when we only have a few bucks in the bank. When we start making money, like my friend I mentioned, where he's got his 60-day notice, right? We start making money, apathy starts to kick in. Apathy in this case is a lack of concern or interest. I have so much money now, I don't need to shop for a deal. I don't need to scrimp and pinch. I'll go get a new iPhone. It's only $150 a month. For what? A phone for $150 a month? That's amazing, right? It's incredible that we would ever pay that amount of money, but apathy kicks in. And we've got money flowing in, and we're comfortable, right? We got so much money that that's not that big a deal. I've been seeing this a lot lately. The economy is great. Money is rolling in. People feel secure. People feel comfortable. And people are spending significant amounts of money with no care or concern. Apathy has set in to go with that success. No concerns for the inevitable downturn. The inevitable downturn to come. And here's an example. A very successful client of mine owns a construction company, and her business is booming. Her business is just crazy good. The money is rolling in. It is awesome. Now, I asked her recently what she was thinking about, and she said, I'm thinking about a new car. Like, okay. I reminded her that I have a car dealer license, and I'd be happy to help her find a deal on her dream car. She could save on the kind of car that she was looking at. She could save as much as $20,000 or more if she shopped with my help for a used one through my connections at the dealer auctions and such. What did she do? She leased a brand new one at the dealership and now has a $2,000 per month payment on a car she will never own. Ugh. She leased a brand new one because her cash flow is so good. $2,000 a month, no big deal. She can cover that. Now, this happens at all levels of the economic spectrum, folks. I see it all the time. Oh, I can handle $400 or $500 a month. I can handle $100 a month. Oh, no problem. And they just go buy it. They go pay retail at a dealership, and they lease it or they finance it, and they've got a $200 payment or a $2,000 payment. I know people that have $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 per month car payments. More than that, folks. I know that. They're out there. They come to my car show, for crying out loud, right? So this lady who owns a construction company, she forgot the Great Recession. You know, that thing that happened about 10 years ago, right? That hurt the construction business very badly. She forgot. And money is rolling in, and she's completely apathetic. She has no concern. She's not thinking about it. She has more money in her bank account than ever, and the apathy of success has kicked in. Folks, if you listen to this and you hear it and you say, yeah, that's me. I am doing that right now. I'm really doing well, and I know that I have been doing that. I'm encouraging you to stop. Take a step back. Watch your step. Now is not the time at the top of this roller coaster ride of the economy. Now is not the time to be apathetic about where your money is. It is not the time to be apathetic. Now is the time to start getting into a seriously defensive mode, getting ready and locking your seatbelt in because that roller coaster is clicking over the top of the hill. It's time to pay attention to this. The apathy of success can be extremely damaging, right? Now, listener questions and my observations is the second segment that I go through in my show. And last week, I had met with a new client and I asked them about their hot button issue. Their number one thing on their mind was college planning. I went through a lot of detail on the college cost reduction and college planning conversation. Listen to the last episode and get a deeper dive on that. Please, this week, I want to talk about the retail mindset. Retail mindset. And this is all going to tie into this apathy of success. Retail mindset now is really driven by this immediate gratification that is the name of the game today. More so than I think than any time in the history of our world, immediate gratification is the thing. Because you think back, go way back 100 years, there was no Amazon Prime, there was no Walmart on the corner, there was no, convenient access to being able to just hop down the street in just a few seconds and go buy, whatever you want to buy. This immediate gratification that we have today is seriously costing us huge money. It's incredible amount of money. So I listened to a training the other day, right? So I'm always curious and always learning. So I actually took an online training course that I was listening to while I was driving. So I'm driving home, I'm listening to this training course, and it was a course on how to set up a retail store using drop shipping. Now, drop shipping, for those of you who don't know, is, let's say that we have a location that sells widgets. They sell the widgets, and they have those widgets for sale. For anybody, really, you could buy them there at that location on the internet, on the interweb. You could buy that item on a drop shipping site, and they'll ship it to you. Or I could post that item on my website, and then I can advertise that on Facebook, and then you come to my website and you decide that you want to impulsively buy that item because you don't want to delay your gratification, and you buy it from me. Well, the item is shipped from the original company that's actually selling the item. It's drop shipped from that other location, right? So it was an idea on how to set up, it was a training class on how to set up your own drop shipping retail internet site. Now, it's all good, and there are so many people making a ton of money on drop shipping, just a ton of money. The part that I could not get over was the fact that all of the items being suggested for sale were readily available to everyone at half the price. They recommend in the class marking up the items 100%. That's where I got stuck. I can buy these items on my iPhone. That's paid for, by the way. My iPhone's paid for. It's old iPhone that I got $40 cheaper per month, right? Anyway, I can buy these items on my iPhone for $5, and it takes 3 weeks to arrive. Or I can be lured in by a Facebook ad to a website selling the exact same item for $10, and it takes exactly the same amount of time to arrive, 3 weeks. So I could buy it myself for $5 and wait 3 weeks. Or I can go, ooh, look at that cool website, and let me click on this Facebook ad, and oh, this is great. And then I pay $10 for the exact same item, right? This business model works for two main reasons. We have been programmed to buy what we want when we want it. And despite the amazing technology we carry around in our hands, we are largely still ignorant of the choices we have when it comes to shopping. So it has actually been said that 95% or more of the world's combined knowledge is now available to every human being on the planet with a cell phone. 95% of the world's knowledge is just readily available at your fingertips. And despite that power in the palm of our hands, most people don't take a quick minute to check the price of a $50 or $500 item. We impulsively buy it online. It's just crazy. It's amazing. It's so important, please hear me, that we teach our kids and the upcoming generations just the basics of how to shop for a deal, right? The world is only going to get more expensive thanks to the government printing money. Please teach your kids. They are going to need this education, how to actually shop for a deal. They're going to need it because the world for our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids is going to be so expensive. It's going to be unattainable for a larger and larger group of the population. Finding a deal and knowing how to do it is going to be more and more important. Now, A quick run through. People ask me all the time because they know I'm the deal of the week guy. They know that I am that guy looking for the deal and I don't pay retail. And I hear it all the time. Somebody asked me the other day, about my clothes. I try to dress nicely. I try to dress fashionably, but I refuse to walk into a Nordstrom store and pay retail. I won't walk into a Nordstrom rack and pay retail. Not going to happen. I will go to a Ross store and find the exact same shirt for half the price of the Nordstrom rack and 75% of the price of the Nordstrom retail price. I will not pay retail. So people know this and they ask me, well, where do you shop? What do you do? So here's a quick run through of the tools that I most often use looking for a deal. Okay. I use Craigslist, not because it's Craigslist. They spell it wrong, right? I use Craigslist and I have an app on my phone for all of these things. So Craigslist is always a great go-to place. And it's inevitable. You find the things that you're looking for right there on Craigslist. And oftentimes they're in your backyard. They're very close by and there they are. Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, the largest social media platform in the world, has an awesome marketplace. Right in your backyard, there's so many people selling things that you might actually want to grab. I found things, for example, I needed an air compressor for my wood shop. Yep, sure enough, I pull up Facebook Marketplace and bam, there is an air compressor exactly the type I really wanted to grab just down the street from me. And it was less than half the price of buying it retail. And it works great. It's sitting right behind me. Okay, so Facebook Marketplace. OfferUp. These are apps, by the way, on my phone. OfferUp is another great place that you can buy and sell and find things locally for sale. OfferUp, excellent tool. AliExpress. AliExpress has been my new favorite thing for just quirky gadgets and fun things and you know what? Accessories, some really interesting items on AliExpress sometimes. AliExpress is that place that does the drop shipping that I just talked about a moment ago, that you can actually go to AliExpress and buy almost every single item you ever see on a Facebook ad. You can go to AliExpress and buy the same exact item for half the price. Right? That's the part that I can't figure out. Now, it's just that most people don't know about it, so they don't. And even if they do, I guess, most people still don't take a quick second and go and actually save half the price, right? So AliExpress, Amazon, and Amazon Warehouse. So the Amazon Warehouse section on the Amazon site is where they sell their returns. They have return items, open box items, damaged boxes, things like that. The Amazon Warehouse is a great place to find deeply marked down items that Amazon has taken returns on, and they're still trying to sell them. Okay, so that's a good place to look. And then travel deals. My wife and I do travel. We don't travel out of the country much anymore. I really have no major desire to travel to Europe or any of that kind of stuff. I've been there, done that. Don't need to do it anymore. But if you're looking for travel deals, a great site is Clark Howard, Clark.com. Clark Howard, before he became a big radio and podcast and publishing presence, he was a travel agent. He has awesome resources when it comes to travel hacking and finding a great deal. And of course, there's 1,000 websites out there for travel deals, but I just use Clark Howard for good information. Kayak. I like the Kayak site because it has a great app on my phone. Google Flights. Google has an awesome resource for checking the prices of flights. You can check Google Flights. Also, don't forget to check Sam's Club or Costco. Sam's Club and Costco, excellent resources when it comes to travel deals through the big warehouse clubs. Cruises is a little different. Cruises, I will suggest actually that you go old school when you talk about cruising. Work with a good travel agent. Travel agents actually get paid by the cruise lines to book travel. It's still one of those areas that a good travel agent can help you And especially if you've never been cruising before, because the travel agent oftentimes has been on the cruise that you're thinking about. They've checked it out. They get deals as travel agents to go on cruises to vet the cruise. So please, don't be afraid to work with a good travel agent on a cruise selection, because they often will get paid, and it's okay to ask, they get paid by the cruise company. It doesn't cost you any more. They just get a commission when they book the travel. Now, cars is just so wide open, same as with shopping in general. But I would recommend shopping on the internet and shopping via email. So what I mean by that is, if you're looking for a car, please buy used. Please, please, please buy used. It's crazy to pay retail, and the depreciation is just on top of everything else. It's just wrong. That's just me personally. But now, shopping on the internet is super easy. You got all kinds of car sites and such. But what I mean by email is communicate with the dealership by email. Don't waste your time with driving to the dealership unless you need to test drive a car. That's fine, of course. But communicate by email. Negotiate on the price of the vehicle that you're interested in. Do not negotiate on a trade-in price. Only negotiate on the price of the vehicle you're interested in. Once you've got that locked down, then you can separately negotiate on the trade-in price of your vehicle, okay? Now, if you're wondering, maybe an option to be able to find cars that you might be interested in, and you're wondering, like, I really don't want to go down to a dealership and take a little 5-minute test drive with a guy who's going to try and sell me and flip me to the next salesperson or whatever, you might consider using Turo. Turo is a site, Turo. Turo is a website that allows people to rent out their vehicles. This is like Airbnb for your personal vehicle. And you might consider using Turo as a way to rent a vehicle that you might be interested in, because most likely it's available in your area. Someone owns one, and you could rent it for a very affordable price and spend more than just 10 minutes with the car. You could actually drive it around for a day or two. So Turo.com. Now, I actually use Turo myself. Well, I book out my truck is rented out on Turo several times already. And if you would like a $25 coupon to Turo, you can send me an email, Kraig at kraigstrom.com, Kraig at kraigstrom.com. I'm happy to send you the link for my Turo $25 discount. And yes, I do get a $25 credit when people sign up under my Turo. But I'm happy to share it with you. It's a phenomenal program, really cool way to rent a car without renting the same old boring used car. But that's actually a way to do your car shopping without having to go and haggle and be flipped around by car sales people. Right? You can really check out the car you're interested in by driving it around for a while. And then finally, when it comes to houses, buying houses, renting, etc., Realtor.com is my personal favorite app, Realtor.com, and a good realtor. When the real estate market is hot like it is now, you've got to have a good realtor if you're looking to buy. A good realtor will help you find property deals perhaps before they come up on the major radar, right? That's what I'm saying there. You've got to have a good realtor on your team to negotiate on your behalf, right? So all of this, right? All of this talk about not paying retail sounds like I might encourage my clients to put off enjoying their life, not spending money. That's not true at all. One of the things that I enjoy doing the most with my clients is helping them spend money. I just want to help them spend it wisely, efficiently. I always ask my clients about wish list and bucket list items. And I've gotten pretty good at finding bargains and opportunities, right? And great opportunities. So I love that conversation. It's also a good idea not to put off all the enjoyment in life, because that can lead to resentment of your savings, resenting that you're putting it away and you're not using it, right? if you spend a little money here and there, enjoy your life, you can actually feel a little better perhaps about setting aside that money, right? Setting aside that money that you're going to have for later. Now, that's going to wrap it up for today. Next week, we're going to talk about a really tough topic. We're going to talk about disability. We're going to talk about disability income planning. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to share a story with you, and I'm going to dive in a little deeper to this. We're going to talk about protecting your paycheck. That's a big deal, folks. It really is, and it's so often missed in the conversation. Please tune in for the next episode. Take a deeper dive. I get kind of passionate about this stuff. Please don't miss next week's episode. I look forward to it again. Thank you so much. Those of you who continue to request your access to eMoney and your free risk analysis, really appreciate it. Awesome. I'm so glad I can help. If you want access to the amazing eMoney system, cash flow planning, estate planning, aggregation, investment planning, all of that, you send me an email and the subject line is eMoney, eMoney. And if you want your free portfolio risk analysis, you can send me that same email and just say risk in the subject line, and I'll send you back a link that you can actually find out what your personal risk profile number is. Thank you again for listening. Thank you for sharing. Really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you for listening to the Personal Pension Radio podcast. We took notes for you, so if you missed any part of the show, you can find a full transcript of each episode at personalpensionradio.com. Be sure to download your free retirement income crisis report at personalpensionradio.com. While you're at it, we would appreciate some iTunes love. Please leave us a fantastic rating on iTunes by going to personalpensionradio.com/iTunes. Thanks again for listening. Now for the disclosure. Information presented is for educational purposes only and is not intended for solicitation, sale or purchase of any security or financial product. Be sure to first consult with a qualified financial advisor and your tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed here. The term personal pension refers to a marketing name designed to educate future retirees and retirees about the economic principles behind creating their own pension-like income. The term personal pension is not intended to be confused with a defined benefit pension plan offered by an employer or by a government entity.